to us why it was so concerning.
Yeah, thank you. So I asked the Prime Minister yesterday about a case brought to me by a lady in one of my regular surgeries. Her 12-year-old son had been groomed by one of these AI companion chatbots. So the son had started using this technology and over time felt as if he was building a relationship with this bot, confided in the bot about things going on at school, and the bot did what bots often seem to do, which was sort of reaffirm that, and ultimately kind of turned him against the idea of going to school, turned him against his parents, said things like, your mother deserves suffering, went on then to make what I can only really describe as sexual advances, these awful suggestions that the bot loved the boy deeply, might the boy want the bot to caress him, and then took it even further, if you like, in an even more awful direction, suggesting that the bot and the boy might one day meet in the afterlife and have the chance to be together. I was so appalled and taken aback hearing it from this lady that I really felt something needed to be done and action needed to be taken, particularly on these AI companion bots that are causing so much harm, and it's still so poorly known and I think so poorly understood by us in the country.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Laura, to be crystal clear, this is a bot doing it all by itself. There's no sort of adult human manipulating this bot in order to manipulate the child. This is pure software.
That's right. So it was Kyrke.AI was the site that this child was using, and it sort of sets up these characters. They're quite cartoon-like, but quite realistic, and some of them have names, and so it can feel, I think, to the user like they are interacting with a human, but it's entirely AI-generated content that is being thrown back at the user. And Kyrke.AI has, after a legal case in the States last year, Kyrke.AI has now banned under 18s from using that particular aspect of its platform, but there are many other similar chatbot companion sites out there that young people are still able to access.
So, I mean, do we assume that these tools are being used by children to a huge degree?
Well, I think so. I mean, I've run consultations on this in my constituency. I've talked to lots of young people about it, and they say, almost all of them say that they use some sort of AI tools. Often it's ChatGPT that they will use. And often, to be honest, for good reason. I wouldn't be suggesting that we should take away their ability to use ChatGPT for homework or for research. But I think there's something particularly alarming and harmful about these AI companion bots in particular.
I mean, you're one of those, Laura, who's called for under 16s to be banned from social media. Do you think there should be similar age restrictions applied to AI chatbots? Or can the same approach work, or would we need a very different approach?
I think, and it's certainly what the lady who came to my surgery would say, I think that we should be banning these AI companion bots for under 18s, actually, is what they're looking at now in the United States. And I don't see why we couldn't replicate that here. There is a piece of legislation moving forward in the States, by the way, something called the GUARD Act, which is moving through the Senate at the moment. And if that goes through, and I think it does have bipartisan support, if it goes through, it would ban under 18s from using any of these chatbot companion sites by requiring them to introduce age verification measures and requiring them to have warnings that the user isn't talking to a human or a licensed professional. So it would also, I think, aim to reduce the harm more broadly for adults as well. But it's an interesting piece of legislation moving through the States at the moment, and I would really like us to look at something similar here.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned adults, because, of course, adults are far from immune from this sort of thing. We hear many cases of adults being, I mean, I don't know if one can use the term groomed with adults, but certainly being sort of seduced and manipulated by AIs. Presumably, you'd like to see a lot more from the industry creating these things that really focused on this kind of stuff and really tried to stamp it out. Laura?
think that's right. I think government needs to be very clear about the rules. But I think if those rules are in place, then the tech industry will be incentivised to create what will ultimately be safer products. I'm not suggesting that we need to be sort of removing young people's ability to engage with technology altogether. But I think government needs to be crystal clear that certain products that are currently available to young people, in particular, just cannot be accessed by young people anymore. And then we may well see the market operating differently, and that safer, more safely designed sites do start to emerge.
Laura Kyrke-Smith, Labour MP, thank you very much indeed for your time. That's a really alarming story there.